My God, I am going on a rant and I turned off my mic. God damn you. Bah! Thank you, Zodiac. All right, you know what? Screw it. This one's way too important. I'm doing it again. I'm starting off the top here. By the way, good to see you here, Zodiac. Thank you for letting me know. It was on, and then all of a sudden it wasn't on. Oh, my. All right. Just finished watching the Twins and the Blue Jays. And I swear, I understand they did not know how to hit. However, I understand that analytics is a tool. Analytics is a tool to help you, whether you're dealing with baseball teams, baseball players, baseball situations. But when you decide that baseball analytics override common sense, you are the tool, not analytics. You are the tool. When you have a pitcher pitching a no-hitter, 7 innings, 70 pitches, just breezing through. But the analytics show, let's pull him out of there because third time down the lineup, it doesn't work too well. When you have a pitcher absolutely dealing in a ballpark where he was at for 6 years, and he is absolutely dealing, taking care of everything. He's given up 2 hits, 1 walk, spread out over 4 innings. But no, the analytics say, let's get everybody off the opponent's bench out of there because we can bring in a lefty to cancel that. And then that lefty subsequently gives up 2 singles, 2 runs, and we're screwed. I am sorry. Something has to happen here. Somebody has to get fired over this. This is 2 years in a row this has happened. Last year was Gosman. This year it's Barrios. Somebody needs to get punted. And I just... don't even let him get on the flight back from Minnesota back to Toronto. That's how it is right now. So damn frustrating to try to be a fan. All right. And Zodiac, I am so glad that you brought in a positive comment to bring up with all that. It is Adam Copeland Wednesday here. If you guys weren't around on Sunday, you could be a Rays fan. I'm not sure they exist, though. Shout out to Member of the Game on that one. Yeah, at least, you know, our players tried to show up. Just the management decided they didn't need to show up. Anyway, let's get on to wrestling here, because I got another take that's going to be rather seriferous, I believe, or some crazy thing here. But tonight, I think the biggest thing that people are talking about, it's not the tag match between Jericho and Omega versus the Callis Family. That's not in New Japan. It's not Toni Storm with her big announcement that her match against Skye Blue. It's not Rey Fenix versus Nick Jackson, even though Rey Fenix pretty much was injured twice now. Now, he got hurt in that 8-way tag on Sunday. Yeah. I gotta say, we did get it wrong. We did get Copeland here. I thought they were gonna wait for LA. I'll be honest. I didn't think it would be that quick. But I'll tell you something, I marked the hell out. And I will say this, and I'm gonna stand behind this statement that I made. There are a ton of similarities to having Edge being the Hulk Hogan of generation. This signing for AEW was similar to WCW signing Hulk Hogan. Both wrestlers were on the decline of their career, supposedly. Both wrestlers had nothing to do in their old promotion. Both wrestlers were pretty much the lead of their companies at one point. Granted, I understand Hogan was a lot longer and booked a lot stronger than what Edge was. But for many a year, he was leading up the heavyweight championship. Him and Cena, the feuds that would run through that. And even as recently as when he came back in 2021, as much as him and Orton at Mania was a complete doozer and snoozer, he was still meant to be one of the biggest factors in WWE during the pandemic era. And I feel that this signing for AEW is going to bring a lot of eyes. A lot of eyes that they didn't expect to have before. And in many ways, that's exactly what the Hogan signing was. So, just want to see Adam and Christian versus the Hardys for the feels. I don't want to see it right away. I want to see it eventually, but I don't want to see it right away. I want to see some other matches, and I want to see the reunion between Adam and Christian. You gotta let it cook. I believe that's the way the kids say it these days. You gotta let it cook. So it's going to be interesting what he has to say. He's said a lot. I know that, let's face it, let's not follow what we have on X here as our explanation as to what to do. But at the same time, a lot of WWEers were upset about this one because they knew they let a good one go away. And here's the thing. There's going to be a lot of good ones getting away from WWE, I feel, as we go along. Because I think it's going to be more fluid between both promotions. Like, as much as everybody's very tribalistic on this stuff, the wrestlers aren't. And by the way, I'm going to call this right now, speaking of ebbs and flows, and you guys can mark this down here. I'm probably going to record this or save this for later. Jade Cargill will be the fourth member of Lashley's little faction coming up on Saturday. So I think there's, without a doubt, it would be a perfect fit. He's looking for prime talent that doesn't use excuses. And I think Jade being in that faction would be absolutely perfect. That's the women's proponent of that faction, if not more, which to be announced, of course, right? If you're not going to put Bianca there, Jade is going to be, Jade is going to be absolutely perfect there. And you know what's funny? Because everybody's asking, is Jade going to start in NXT? We already have Cora Jade down there, and WWE simply hates using the same name in the same company, not like the three Adams right now that we have in AEW, in the Cage, Page, Rage, Mage. All right, here we go. Show's up, folks. We're getting ready to go. Once again, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Just a reminder, next week, AEW Dynamite is Championship Tuesday, if you haven't heard. If you haven't been on the social media and listening to everybody go nuts over it. We will be here with a AEW Dynamite Sidecast here. And then immediately following our broadcast here, I will send you guys over to our local establishment where Ed and Astrid will be doing a wrap-up of the NXT show. So it's actually rather convenient. You get to talk about all your wrestling for the entire night there. So Fire Canada, that is about a coordinator for the NFL. I still feel Fire Canada seems appropriate when it comes to, we need to fire somebody today. All right, so we got the internet. They didn't advertise a whole lot coming in tonight, but last week they didn't have a lot advertised either. But we did talk about this very quickly off the start. We got the Jericho Omega versus the Callis Family, which my personal feeling, I don't think we really even needed that match on the pay-per-view. It felt like a Dynamite main event, and yeah. Hey, Astrid. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. I hope you heard that we are rating you guys next week after we're done here. On this day, I see happy, except when you're a Jays fan. 'Cause the manager is a moron. You gotta love it that WWE didn't... Zodiac, I gotta talk to you about that in a second, because that's actually incorrect. Man, that picture of Omega and Copeland shaking hands. Jericho just tried to ham it up here. So, for the record, the Rated R Superstar trademark was never, ever accepted. It was applied for twice, ending in June 2020, but the patent office said you cannot have it. Apparently, it was too much of a commonplace thing. So, the Rated R Superstar, as much as people are talking about since June 2020, it's not. It didn't happen. The actual giving of the moniker never happened. So, or the trademark. Sorry. I know I was reading some stuff up on it. Just typing up the first prediction here for you guys. Seems like it's been working well now that we've changed up the stipulation. All right, here we go. We'll put 5 minutes on the clock. Prediction is up. I heard Phoenix was hurt too. He was hurt during the 8-man tag. I was talking about that while I was muted. If you guys weren't here for the pre-show, I went on an epic... Well, you're going to see the clip because that's one of the first clips I'm going to actually put up on TikTok and Twitter here once I get the video uploaded for the Sidecast here later on for YouTube. Hashtag Praise Saturn. Thank you, Yeager. Good to see you here tonight, too. Jay Quick, Zodiac, Astrid. Everybody's piling in tonight. It is going to be a fun night of wrestling here. I'm fired up. Like, the last few weeks, I got to admit, it's been a month of survival when it comes to wrestling in a way, because we've all talked about how there's been so much going on. Like, let's face it. Over the last 7 days, I think we pretty much had a 5-star match every single day. Because I'm sure Impact pulled one out. That look on Christian's face when he heard the music, absolutely. That was that was great. And what he said at the press conference after was even better. Yeah, I never had a friend. Not surprised he's here. Brian Alvarez is a mark. But yeah, folks, just a reminder, if you want, the predictions are up. There are 4 different choices here. Pinfall submission for each person. We used to do just the 2 who would win, but it always went to the same person for the same amount. So, you know, when guys have different moves and different finishes, I like to mix things up a little bit, help us out a bit here. But Like how Shivani just turns around. Yeah, we're just going to... well, we don't care. We're just going to... we just succeeded no matter what. It's a big thing. And yeah, but Phoenix, to your point earlier, Phoenix, yeah, he was carted off. Penta actually had to go most of that match by himself. But let's put it this way. It's one of the best things that came out of that group of injuries between Mox and Phoenix is the fact that Moxley on commentary, like, holy hell. That during the pay-per-view was somewhat amazing. I want to go back and listen to it again. Because at the bar, we didn't get to hear it as well as we wanted to. By the way, once again, shout out to the Pint White Ave. For those that didn't know, we had a little bit of a bomb scare at on the block just next to Beercade. And so, unfortunately, we weren't able to get into Beercade, but the Pint was nice enough to bring us in. Oh, take it on the back. That's smart. And Penta's just, he's trying not to get involved, but he almost feels like he needs to at this point. Phoenix trying to gut it out here. Can we get Moxley to replace JR on commentary? I almost would like to see both of them together. Mox was so good, especially during the Claudio and Danielson's matches. He played so well, rooting for the guys without being a complete homer about it. Yeah, well, the one thing I'd like to see, and just as a gimmick thing about it, I would like to see more than anything, I would like to see them come out with a new t-shirt and say, all funds from this t-shirt will go towards the Moxley commentary fund to cover all those fines that he got. So yep, knew that was well, they at least did something to recover it a little bit. I know he can afford the fine, but still, wouldn't you buy a shirt that would support Moxley if he would swear more on comment? Oh, Jesus. Ow. Did you see Nick spike himself there? Holy hell. And I love the Phoenix is like, cameraman, get the frick out of here. Like, this is rough right now. The fact that picture on the front, mock swear jar, and then the all funds go to on the back. You know, it could work, Jaeger. I'd almost be tempted to do something like that here for me. But when now they've switched over to a mat match, this makes a lot of sense here on this match, with the fact that both guys really don't want to move around a whole lot. This is the, you know what's funny? Everybody was so hyped about this show this week, but also people need to remember this is the show immediately following a pay-per-view. I remember, and this is, I don't know, maybe you guys can mention if I'm wrong or something about this. Typically the Raw after a pay-per-view, the Dynamite after a pay-per-view, there really isn't a whole lot that's usually on it. Except for after Mania, of course. I do have to qualify that. But the rest, it's sort of like, all right, well, we'll take anybody that's still not broken and throw them into a match. Which I found interesting that they actually did book this match before the pay-per-view. Because of the high degree of difficulty, for lack of a better term, that Fenix is involved in. I honestly don't know if it was a wise move to book this match, because then if he's not good to go, then you just don't have this match. Nobody's the wiser. And then you wouldn't have to have that stupid blind eliminator triple threat, whatever you wanted to call it, between Brian Cage, Claudio, and Nick Jackson last week. Just have the damn match and don't have any stipulations on it. Then just tell us after that's what that match was for. Because when it comes to AEW, you guys tell me if I'm wrong or not here. More often than not, when it comes to Dynamite, we're just here to see good matches. And a lot of matches. Because typically that's what you're trying to... That's typically what we're getting here. A lot of the booking makes sense, but a lot of it is just... Let's just throw stuff out there and see what happens. Building up Fenix to be all the belts hero. Yeah, I'll give you that. See, this is the pace of the match I was expecting prior to. Like, if there was no injury, and I expected these guys to go about 6 million miles an hour. Sort of like if the AEW Forever game glitched out. Jesus! I think that earns that for this one. That was nuts. And these are just... And the other thing that you come to AEW Dynamite for is sometimes some of the moves just don't make sense in terms of a story, but it's still just as fun to watch. Because I fully expect after... Way behind on your feed? I don't know, our feed started pretty much right at the 0-0 mark, so I don't know. I would say maybe you should watch this at a... Oh, God, that hurt. Gotta love a counter to a counter on a counter. But, uh-oh. Fenix was out for a little bit, I think. I don't know if you guys noticed, down as they were down there, Fenix was trying to do the finger press on Jackson just to let him know, just check if he's alive and let him know that he's alive. God! I guarantee you there is going to be a guaranteed 3 count on this just for the fact that after what happened with Rick Knox there is no way they're going to get... If there's going to be a title change, it's not going to be on a fake count. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, here we go. Things getting serious now. Oh, by the way, I'll wait till we're done the match up here. I was going to say, I got a new supplement that I picked up here. Maybe you guys should try it out. Oh, God. Oh, Phoenix still made it up. Okay. Jesus! Wow. Let's just randomly throw Sag out for the top rope while we bounce on the ropes about 4 or 5 times. The one thing that impresses me the most about Jackson there is the way that he was able to roll over for a cover so quickly. Oh, God. Jeez. All right, this has got to... All right, well, it looks like Phoenix is probably going to keep this title. Either way, these two are literally going at it like there's nothing. Jesus. And I love the fact that the crowd is split on this. There's no heel, no face. There's a big knee there. And a second one. And a third. There is no way that's going to finish it. Wow. Just the way that things are shot out, right? That's an interesting super kick. And just, oh, God. It's one thing I love about Phoenix. He just randomly goes up and just... All right, well, he just hurt his hip. And now Nick just does his unbelievable let's wait till 2000 or 2.99998 for that last kick out there. So much NJPW stuff going on. Or not NJP, PWG. My goodness. Roll through. There you go. That is how you do it with two faces. And you get people to show up to watch it. That was pretty damn awesome there. You know, if you're gonna have just for your 4th anniversary, and you know, you want to show that the international title is the workman's title, that just showed it right there. He could barely stand up though. His hip is done. Phoenix is your hero, all the belts? Absolutely. I swear to God, that Adam needs to be Roddy Strong's theme music. Glad to see that they're getting the audio mixing just as they were on their first show. Maybe they'll figure out their production stuff. Oh, God. Now Roddy's into these? And Taven's petting a giraffe. All right. Oh, I know. I'm with you. Damn this production. So he's making Adam move furniture now? How do they not have someone screaming at him right now? I bet you they do. Where's Maria? Maria is still in Ring of Honor, and she's got somewhat of her own storyline going on right now. Like, she's with her boys down there, but... Oh my God, we got a Griff Garrison sighting. We have a Griff Garrison sighting. This is terrible. Yeah, well, the audio is terrible. I don't mind the segment. Well, look who's back. Look who's back. Got his hair back, got his got a little bit of anger on him. And I'm not putting any predictions up for this because this will be over in about 2 minutes. If that. Ever wonder what happened to his partner? Must have disappeared. Oh, there we go. There's one. That's two. This is rough. Griff Garrison sighting last time. Griff Garrison sighting. He's going to go for another one? We'll see Griff's partner at ST. Yeah. Wow. They gave Griff the no. They gave Wardlow just the, yeah, thanks. We're just going to powerbomb you into. They gave him the Lesnar debut. Because I don't know if you remember Lesnar's actual in-ring debut. He came in and he just kept powerbombing until the referee called for the bell. All right, chat, I got to ask you, and with all due respect, for those that watched Wrestledream, which I hope you all did, when Nick Wayne grabbed that championship in the ring, that belt, did anybody here not think that he was going to turn around and smack Darby with it? it's one thing I've always said, and it's one thing I've learned. Sometimes, the worst stories aren't necessarily... The most obvious stories aren't exactly the worst stories. Oh, it was super obvious. Absolutely. Like, I don't think there was anybody who would have thought otherwise there. But it'll be nice to hear what Adam's got to say later on today. I'm assuming they're either going to do top of second hour or main event segment, one or the other. But it is really amazing to see what kind of lineup is getting stacked up for Super Tuesday on both ends. You got Copeland Luchasaurus, you got Saraya and Sheeta. You got Breaker with Heyman versus Mello with Cena. You're getting Asuka versus Roxanne Perez, which I couldn't believe how they booed her yesterday. Like Roxanne's turned heel somehow. Wonder how much of that was piped in or forced in, because I don't think there's any reason to put her as a heel at this point. Just randomly flipping her like that. But announcing Cody Rhodes coming to NXT, probably to announce the Dusty Classic. I can't see him doing much more than that unless they're going to officially move NXT back to Wednesdays or some stupid thing like that. I can't see them doing that. But it's funny. I didn't want to get a ton into this, but I am going to regardless. The whole situation here with people talking about NXT and AEW being on the same night, being this big war thing. Right now, it's a situation where AEW has nothing to lose and WWE really doesn't have anything to gain out of it. If AEW loses fans, like on this one episode, simply they can say it was on a different day of the week. They chalk it up to that, they move on to the next week. No big deal. If they get more fans or they stay with, or the fan base stays important, they feel that their fan base is strong still. If they get more fans, well, they might have to look into it. There's nothing negative there. With WWE, if they are front-loading NXT the way that they are, they're actually gambling pretty good here. I think it's a safe gamble. Don't get me wrong. I think they're going to get a ton of people. But think about it. If they stay the same with all this talent, even with AEW on the air and whatnot, I would say that minor victory at best. But what if those ratings go down? What if those ratings go down and AEW comes in? You brought in every heavy hitter you thought of. You got Becky Lynch out there. You got Asuka on the show. You got John Cena and Paul Heyman involved. And you lose ratings? Like, I don't know. To me, it's just, I don't think WWE should be playing it up as heavy as they are, but I can understand why they do it. And I think the fans are going to benefit because of it. Ooh. So we got no Sammy tonight. Okay, that makes sense. Kyle Fletcher coming in is actually a perfect fit because Mark Davis, if you didn't hear, he broke his wrist at WrestleDream in his match against FTR. I'm glad they did this backstage. Ha! Zodiac and Joy! Team. So I wonder what match is getting cut or reduced because of this. Maybe Wardlow was supposed to get 4 minutes instead of 3. Oh, this is amazing. But no, I'm really happy for okay. Zodiac, I'm just picturing you just like Matt Taven's face when he's petting a giraffe there. He's like, all right, can we get this over with, please? Stop spying on you. I'm sorry. It just... What I like the most about these segments is the fact that they bring in the 80s disco music throughout the entire thing. Or the techno beat in this case here. So the video screen at the pay-per-view during Callis' entrance has the Last Supper. Does that mean Callis Family will eventually have 12 members? Maybe. Honestly, Jagger, I think Mel just is told to create fixtures based on classic art. So... And one betrayal. Oh, so basically they had to replay everything via... Okay, that makes sense. So they just played the Butcher and the Blades entrance while... Sorry, that's the dance for everybody from now on. I still don't think this is going to be a very long match here, so... You know what? Let's get this quickly up here because you never know. They might actually get the match going. Someday I will hire a mod to do this, but not yet. All right, there we go. Let me put that up. 5 minutes. Just as I was asked to make sure we get the predictions up, I want to make sure I got them all up for you guys. So they're up now. Penelope changed her hair. Oh, let me just back up here. Poor Kip. Yeah, Kip's always, well. Yeah, Penelope went with the straight blonde here. Interesting. Oh, now they got to... It's glad to see TBS after 4 years still can't get this stuff figured out. Right into the picture-in-picture late, getting the audio screwed up on the last segment. Like, come on, boys. It's been 4 years. And girls. Where's Bunny? I don't know what happened. Like, Bunny should be around, but maybe just didn't make it out this week. By the way, speaking of characters that we think should be here, I want to give a special shout out to Julia Hart. A lot of people were saying Julia got worked out to Statlander. Well, jobbed out. Sorry, I didn't want to use it, but I use it. Jobbed out to Statlander. It ends up that Lee Johnson and Julia Hart are going to be getting married next Friday. Friday the 13th, they're getting married. So it's going to be a lot of fun for them. Congratulations to the happy couple. But they're going to be off TV for a little while, obviously, with the honeymoon and such. So, yeah, congratulations to both of them. I was just reading the notes while I was attempting to try not to throw my phone during the Jays game there. And I just wanted to say thank you once again to everybody that has shared everything out, like for us being here tonight and whatnot. Always appreciate it. I'd like to see if we can get the numbers up a bit, but it doesn't really matter to me in the long run. What matters is we all hang out, we all have fun together, and we all have a good time here. So, and once again, I do appreciate having you all here. As we get to watch a systematic beating in a corner for 2 minutes on the picture-in-picture. So I really do hope, and this is just purely for Kip Sabian's sake, I hope that we finally get a match where it ends in the picture-in-picture. Because as of right now, for the entirety of the time on TBS here and in AEW, Kip Sabian is the only person who has ever been pinned in a picture-in-picture moment with his match against Orange Cassidy in the first year. That seemed to keep people unglued here, so just a heads up, Eric, just under a minute left if you want to get your predictions in. But yeah, as we were talking during the ad break here, Kyle Fletcher, an absolute great choice for the Callis family. Especially now that Mark Davis is probably going to be gone till, I would think, at least Double or Nothing, if not longer, with a broken wrist. So Strickland versus Danielson, winner gets Fenix. Why would you put that for Phoenix? Okay. Copeland versus Luchasaurus. You can tell how predictable this match is as we're more worried about the graphics than we are. So we're getting Moxley and Fenix next week? All right, well, that was academic. Sorry to hear what happened tonight. You all had a good... Well, honestly, Cameron, do me a favor if you need to. You can go back and watch the beginning of this about 5 minutes in, because I muted myself accidentally for the first 4 minutes while I did the rant the first time. If there isn't some part of management that isn't fired after what happened today, I think there's going to be a good part of this fan base that's going to walk away, so... Okay. Okay. My God. Okay. Timeless Toni Storm presents... Okay. So she's come up with an additional moniker to her moniker. I guess that was her big announcement tonight. Oh my. That's almost as bad as the Amelina one. But despite that, you know, as horrible as that was, the overall, the Mildred Burke presentation that she's doing and just running with, I want to give full kudos to full kudos to Toni Storm for what she's doing right now. She's doing an absolutely fantastic job here. Just morphing herself into a character. Like, I get it. Some of this might not be somebody's cup of tea here. But the way she's drawing it out, the way she's getting her creativity. And this is something that Adam Copeland brought up in his presser. The fact that he actually gets to express his creativity. Like, him and Darby ended up filming that pre-introduction video that came out with. And Beth Phoenix is the new voice to start off the song, by the way, if any of you haven't heard. Which, it's interesting. I'll give it that way. I found it different, and I do appreciate that. I think it's funny. A lot of people are saying, well, why didn't you keep the old one? I'm like, wow, I cannot believe that I am that old compared to these guys. Because if a lot of people don't realize that first line, "You think you know me," that is actually from his original Jim Johnson intro music. So of course they couldn't use it in the in their new video, because yeah, it's fully copyright nailed shut. It's part of the WWE anthology. Go check it out. Or check out Edge's first theme on YouTube. I sent the link out in a tweet earlier when people were asking about it. So That's why they had to change it, and they did it in a brilliant way. And I'm glad that in the way that when they did it, Beth wasn't over dramatic about it. So for me, it worked out really well personally that way. But yeah, as we're it's going to be interesting to see the level, getting back to my original point here, the level of creativity that they're giving the wrestlers here to do stuff. It can be a very crash and burn thing. But at the same time, for every little piece that crashes, you're going to get a little bit that shines pretty good, right? So as far as I'm concerned, I'll take the bad with the good rather than just having the same old thing every week. If the same old thing was excellent every single week, which I don't care what anybody says, WWE does not win from front to back every single day. No promotion does. I would love to see something different all the time, even if it means dealing with some turds once in a while. I like the original theme, kind of basic, but it's one that always plays first in my head. Yeah, that's exactly it. It was very simple and very... That's what Jim Johnson was. What's with the spotlights like that? So yeah, they're definitely pushing. Check out the replay of Wrestledream, which I recommend if anybody hasn't seen Wrestledream. This might be, a lot of people are calling this one of the best pay-per-views that AEW has produced. Like they're talking about all in 2021 range. That was the one with the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks in the cage. Because as of right now, that's what was considered the best pay-per-view ever for the most part from AEW. This one was pretty damn close in many ways. The only thing I didn't like about it is there were two matches there that sort of felt like they were good, but they really didn't need to be there. That was Starks and Yuta, and then that 6-man with Jericho, Omega, and Ibushi. So it's going to be interesting with all these conspiracy theories going on about what happened with Jay White, right? Because I know they're about to bring out the Bullet Club talking about Jay White and how he's out right now, thanks to they're going to blame Adam Cole and the Kingdom and all that. You going to be live Tuesday? Yes, absolutely. I will be. What I was mentioning to everyone earlier before we started here, I will be live here next Tuesday for our AEW Sidecast. Immediately following that, we will be raiding out to our local establishment and their NXT coverage, their wrap-up show with Ed Fries and Astra Pizarro. So if you want to know about everything that's going on with the Super Tuesday of wrestling that's coming up in the next couple weeks, well, next Tuesday here, join myself, and then you can join Ed and Astrid as they talk about NXT here. So it's going to be a fun day. It's going to be a fun week. I just found out I'm able to stream on Mondays, so our schedule will somewhat be normal for 2 weeks in a row here before I have to change again. Who's got a Fire Tomlin sign out there? Well, it looks like they know who they're blaming for. These guys are usually pretty good hits on the promo stick, but they got to really pick it up here. Oh, while I'm at it here, guys, just picked up GamerSup's new shaker mug and some lemonade with it. And I'll be honest, this is one of the best ones I've tasted, period. I got a different one that's called Brand Risk. So I can't really show the case on the stream here, but it's a peach flavor that absolutely tastes great as well. So thank you for the hydrate, Zodiac. It's a very nice lemonade flavor. And the best part for me is they actually have an app that you can actually look through stuff with. So as MJF is about to head out, well, at least the production house gets the music timing right. All right, Rock. I appreciate you. All right, well, that chant's coming out now. Talentless. A rock hard. Oh, all right. Well, this microphone has gone real well tonight. Wait. All right. Let's back up here. You know, as much as I love MJF, this is literally everything that The Rock did in his promo with Austin Theory on SmackDown just a couple weeks ago. Oh, that dodgeball moment was great. That promo in LA. You know what? As much as we give crap to MJF, he does tell the truth about everything he does. Say he was going to win at WrestleDream with a body slam, he did. Said he beat Darby with a headlock, he did. All right, Fedge, don't need to give that out. Come on. Oh, okay. Why do you want to have a 1-on-3 street fight? Okay, who's coming out to do the save here? I'm assuming it's FTR. And here comes Jay. Okay, that makes sense. Well, Full Gear, that's the... I gotta feel that... Chad, I have to ask you, would this be a worthwhile main event? Having Jay White versus MJF for, say, Full Gear in November? I don't know. They got some time to build this up, which I am happy about. All right. MJF is out cold when he wakes up. As long as they build it right, yeah. Like, they're going to have to do some building. Because this just doesn't give me enough of a vibe here. Got to make Switchblade feel like a legit threat. They haven't done it yet. Exactly. They tried to do it on Collision, but that was with Punk and... Don't believe Jay White will beat him. No one does. It's like watching Roman fight. Exactly. Thanks, Juice. Yeah, we know. All right. Come on. All righty. They got 2 months to book this now. They developed this story. Now they got 2 months to work with it. Do they go away from it and come back? Or do we find some building points to go with it now? Well, a month and a half. We got 6 weeks, which means 18 shows. I wonder if Lay's is sponsoring Hook at all. Got work to do. I'm more invested in the TNA champ. Yeah. Wow, it's showing that Renee's like the Thank you, Excalibur. Thank you, Excalibur. Oh, that was good. That was a good line. Renee only eats ketchup chips. That's a Canadian thing. I love it. All dressed? Could be. So let's see how this is go. Yeah. There we go. I knew I had to take a little bit too long there, but let's throw this in here. I'll give it 10 minutes. We got a little bit of time here. We have, I'd assume we'd have this match. Then we're going to get the women's match, and then we'll just get the Adam Copeland segment to end off the show. We should almost call them the Jets. Put them both together. I think Art would appreciate that. Game Time Art. By the way, if you want to get a little bit of the NHL 24 vibe, Game Time Art just throughout the NHL 24 was trying it out on the pre-trial. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. Not really impressed with what happened last year with it, so. But I will say, I find it weird that these two are tagging here, Jericho and Omega. It still feels weird to me. As much as I wish we could get a break from Jericho for a bit, amazed how he can reinvent himself time after time. Yeah, I'm with you. And Jericho finds a way to keep himself fresh constantly. So it's almost like you want to get rid of him, but you almost want to see what he's going to do next. Oh, and going back to our earlier question, I'm personally a barbecue person for chips. Or I'll take a good plain chip with a good onion dip. I love garbage. That's a new one. Garbage water. Jay's management is garbage water. Oh, great. Callis on commentary. That should always be great. Dorito nacho cheese is the best chip. After that, it's anything Pringles aside from sour. Fair enough. Personally, I've been sticking to popcorn more often than not because it is a little lighter and a little healthier. And plus, Xbox sent me a nice little popcorn maker you can put in the microwave. But also, I'll go with the nacho cheese Doritos. I'll have nacho cheese Doritos, especially if I get wings. Like up here, I know that it's a bad reputation for the pizza, but Pizza 73 wings are just to die for. Sometimes I'm tempted to get the wings from 73 and a pizza from somewhere else. So. Takeshita's going to be such a star going forward. I don't know what you guys think, but let me know what you think in the comments here. But I got to get used to start saying that more. Asking you guys rather than just, just saying I don't know what you guys think. Our wing place has the best pizza and pizza place has the best wings. Yeah, it is sad when, you're specialized in one thing and the other thing you do is the thing that's best. Can you guys think of any other situation that's the case? So I'm going to have to see what's going on. As long as AEW is on our regular TV, I will be on here next Tuesday. If not, I'll play it by ear because with everything that's going on right now, I'm sort of getting tempted to get TSM Plus here. But it's an extra $9 a month service that I don't feel that we need. Oh, and one other note, for Full Gear, if you guys are interested, I will be here doing a sidecast for it. Mr. Vic! Shout out to the HPC bad guys in the chat. Thanks for pulling up a stool here. So maybe you could help us out with one of our... I'm doing good. I think I threw out my rant of the year here about the Blue Jays to start off the show, but it's funny how I talk about baseball during a wrestling show, but that's beside the point. But you got to help us on our question here. What's your favorite chip? Because we've been asking that here. We've been talking about Doritos. We've been talking about wings. Hook came on our screen, so of course chips come up to a conversation. To which I'm shocked that Lay's does not sponsor Hook at all for all the chips that he pulls out. Wait till he starts pulling out a bunch of Old Dutch soon just because, they're going to pay for it. But watching Dynamite tonight actually was a lot of fun so far. AEW showed that their production department hasn't gotten any better for the first 4 years because they ended up having to replay an entire segment, a whole off-camera segment with Adam Cole and Roddy Strong in the Kingdom. They had to replay it twice because they mic'd in the arena audio for the entire segment instead of actually playing it for the crowd. But other than that, we found out we're getting Danielson versus Swerve on top of everything else for next Tuesday. And Moxley versus Phoenix 3. wasn't paying attention the first time anyway. It worked out. Hey, that works. It's one of those you really didn't need to hear. I cranked up the volume here for that first time around, and you heard enough. But other than that, Fenix looks like he's hurt. So it looks like Moxley's going to get his title back next week. I hope they do a full course correction on a bunch of stuff. I think Fenix needs at least another week to heal. Absolutely. This is where Tony Khan's booking the post pay-per-view Dynamite ahead of time is really a bad thing in many ways. Because that's one thing you notice about Raw. And as much as I despise a lot of the stuff they book, they're actually smart enough to wait at least to see if everybody's alive on the pay-per-view to book the next episode of Raw. Because honestly, if Tony Khan would have waited until after the pay-per-view, I guarantee you he wouldn't have booked this match, and he wouldn't have booked Fenix versus Nick Jackson for the international title. But he had to announce this during the press conference, right? It just works out perfectly that Kyle Fletcher doesn't have a partner right now, so... Because if you didn't hear, Mark Davis snapped his wrist. Well, that was very systematic and complete. You gotta love it when Omega is the hot tag in a match finally. Man, Takeshita just looks like an athlete. Because like, you want to talk about somebody who is a complete body guy at a perfect age? Takeshita really does feel like that. And Jericho's just rolling out because it's like, I'm not the guy getting pinned here. Piss off. Oh, somebody's bleeding. I think I like Takeshita better as a happy, lucky... Now, here's a question for you, Gagger, and this means a lot about this. Is it go away heat, or you just don't like who he is? Or is it just somebody you don't want to see on your screen? Because there's definitely two different kinds of heat here. Like, with all due respect, for me, CM Punk was getting go away heat. Because it was just getting annoying seeing him on TV. Oh, and the big announcement, even though they didn't fix the graphic, apparently Toni Storm is now known as Timeless Toni Storm. I'm assuming that's what the case was about that, but... I would love for Adam Copeland to come out and just say, I'm out here. I love AEW, but I love AEW with all the people that I care about. Cue new music for Beth Copeland. Or whatever she's going to get called there. I really wonder, are we going to get to the case where, hear me out on this, when it comes to Callis, he's got that Gorbachev cut on his head, right? So He's got the little scar going down the side. When that finally heals, is he going to absolutely forget everything that happened here when it comes to Callis? Because I personally feel that might be the case here. No, I think he's great no matter what it does. It's just a quick turn from just happy to be here to heal. Yeah, like what I equated Takeshita to when I saw him, and you see him in that black jacket and, you know, the whole bomber jacket feel and the leather. And if you ever watch those old combat martial arts movies, if you watch those combo martial arts movies, you see that one guy that doesn't do anything all movie. And then you just know he's going to do something cool at some point. And all of a sudden, boom. Oh, that was great. Telemarketer called me. That's always spectacular. You know, these people just don't realize that, you know, I'm actually very surprised that I got a call from a telemarketer, because it's one of those, I have call restrict on my personal phone. So in order for it to go through, you actually have to push a button for it to go through. So yeah, I love telemarketers. I'll have to hear what he has to say after this, but yeah, it's when it comes to Takeshita, the sky's the limit for what he's going to be able to do, and the fact that he gets to work with guys like Jericho and Omega right now, and I bet you he's through the roof out getting the chance to work with Ibushi on national TV, even if it was a one-off. I'd expect Ibushi to start coming over a little bit more here, but really, maybe he just wants a part-time schedule just to chill out and relax. Like, he's wrestled plenty of years. He's had enough issues going on. He doesn't want to deal with the politics of New Japan. Like, how are you... Jericho, you're getting kicked in the face. How is it that you're no-selling the first two and then getting dropped by the third? I don't know about you guys, but getting booted square in the face, that would knock me down on the first try. I just retweeted a very nice caption from Game Time Art referring to the Blue Jays off season here. So forgive me for not for being off for a second there. When it comes to so where do you see this feud with Takeshita and Callis and Jericho and Omega going to? Because right now it seems like they're in a nice holding pattern right now, because eventually you got to think that Omega's going to get his comeuppance here, right? Feel like he's taking too long, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, Jericho's always been about taking too long for everything. Think either Omega or Jericho turns and joins Callis. I don't know. Like, that would be interesting. Like, that's something that I don't think anybody would expect. Well, they might expect Jericho because he did say yes originally, right? And it's Callis who said no to Jericho. that was nuts. Fletcher should have grabbed the rope there, just to piss everybody off. That way Omega doesn't even notice. Good old Takeshita here. Fletcher's definitely making a statement for himself here. Because I know that it's always great to be a part of a tag team and showing up, but, oh, no. Thanks for coming out. I was saying it always looks good when you can step in for someone here. Sorry, Jagger, I'll just give you your points back. Would have been nice if Takeshita would, showed up for a part of the match. But yeah, Vic, I'm with you. It's taking too long to get to the corner, and then, but now it looks like, I hope the women's match doesn't get to suffer because of it. Whoa! All right. We just got a new recruit. All right, I like this. Hobbs has got such a soothing voice. Let's have Callis talk for him now. So we've gotten the return of Wardlow and the return of Hobbs tonight. I know Hobbs hasn't been away for as long, but Callis has turned into a hell of a stable here. Well, let's think about it. If you include Aussie Open, which could be their tag team. Oh, God. One-arm choke slam over the barricade. Push Hobbs to the moon. So think about this. We got Hobbs, we got Guevara, we got Takeshita, we got Ospreay. And if you include Aussie Open in there as the tag team, like, this is like one of the strongest heel factions we have in AEW right now. Could you imagine if they start switching off, trying to take care of the elite and move into... Okay, it would be more impressive if he just stand on the guardrail. I like this bear that anything Hobbs has done ever. I give it to you, Jagger. I agree. Well, if Guevara is not able to make it this week, then definitely... I think this crowd has finally gone from, go away Callis to just hating Callis because they want to see him get his comeuppance. Let's do Omega versus Hobbs. Abso-freaking-lutely. I will give you that one. Oh, you're... Uh-oh. Do I see duct tape in the ring? Oh, goody. You know, everything works better with duct tape, right? Holy crap. Callis has got a good boot. Even with those fancy shoes. Jericho's still loose, you idiots. It's called Callis can't get tape properly on there. Jericho making the save for Omega. When did you think you'd ever see that? I'm surprised Callis isn't trying to get a shot in too. Ha! Duct tape fell off already. Takeshita being very smart, holding it. Oh my God. Like, that was square. Like, you see where the sweat stain is. I'm partially impressed with the fact that Callis got it exactly square in the middle. Callis just hurt his foot. That is the best manager thing ever. Well, Hobbs just, Hobbs versus Omega is definitely going to be a thing. Wow, okay. He's going to have to use the Acclaimed. Ugh. All right, well, the only thing I hate about this is the fact it takes into the time that they could use for the women's match. They're probably going to get 10 minutes. Probably 10 minutes max. Which sucks. Because if I'm wrong, like, from what I gather, the big announcement is the fact that Toni Storm is now called Timeless Toni Storm. But if that's not the announcement, well, that's going to cut into this time here. And then we got Adam Copeland coming out yet. So, and I'm assuming that they're going to give Copeland 10 minutes here. The crowd going, Adam! You know they're in on the joke too, right? Like, That's one thing I will say about AEW crowd. I hate to stereotype the two crowds, but I'm going to anyway. An AEW crowd's into a lot more than what a WWE crowd is. I know that it's because WWE's more mainstream, and a lot of people that don't follow wrestling know WWE more than they will know AEW. But it also leads to a very passionate environment in AEW, and I absolutely love it. Like, a lot more of the fans in AEW are the ones that get online, they watch all the segments, they learn everything that's going on. And the WWE crowd, while there are a lot of those fans that go up and research everything, there's a lot of casuals too that just know wrestling. And the PR machine for WWE is absolutely spectacular. And also their tickets are a lot more affordable. I will say that right now. AEW tickets are, in my opinion, overpriced for the mid-tier ticket. And, well, between that and the merch and all that stuff, it's rather overinflated in price, I do feel. But at the same time, it just allows those people that are extra passionate to show their passion for the wrestling in particular. So, but yeah, this is, I will have to say this is a solid episode so far. I don't want to say it's absolutely spectacular because that Nick Jackson Phoenix match at times was great, but in times was hard to watch. The audio flub up with that segment with Roddy and Adam earlier. Rather disappointing. I'm going to assume that Skye Blue's in the ring right now. As we're coming back. Oh, wait, what we got here? You know how much I love that promo with it? I absolutely love that promo from Samoa Joe. It's how you make up for a loss like that, like which many ways could be considered a humiliating loss to MJF with the tape around the throat and the... Skye just looks unimpressed. Yeah. Skye doesn't have her usual joyousness to herself. You want to talk about somebody that's gone full-fledged into her gimmick? She's been infected. That very well could be it. I love how Taz is just going with it, and everybody else is like, no, she's batshit crazy. You want to talk about somebody who's been infected? All this out of a movie role. I love Storm's gimmick because it's actually a gimmick, yeah. And look, she's wearing the basic black gear too. It's like, if you're going to be a 30s wrestler, you come out, you wear black gear, no tassels, no nothing. And go over the hair mare. For half this roster, that move won't work. Half the hair will fly out before the move even happens. Trying to play up the fact that she's old school. Nice. So yeah, I'm assuming that this is going to go very quick. Sorry I didn't get any prediction up for this one. You gotta love Tony bringing up, trying to do the picture-in-picture gimmick there. Toni Storm is showing she might be the best women's wrestler in AEW. You know what? In many ways, I could agree with it. How do I put this in the more conjectural pose? We have a lot of great women's wrestlers in AEW. Toni Storm might be the best entertainer of the bunch. With the personality that she has, the way she's been able to bring it out, the character that she has, and the character that shows that she's something different than everybody else. I think that's the biggest thing more than anything. Like everybody else on the roster has a personality, but it's just different shades of the same attitude. We're all badass women wrestlers, and whether it be Shida being the Japanese warrior, Britt Baker being the dual business warrior, total package or professional wrestling, I don't know who even comes close. Yeah, like, I think it's the fact that she stands out compared to everybody else. Like I was saying here. Like, you look at every other character on the roster here. Like, you would go back and, like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to see 90s wrestling over again, but we had guys like, John Nord out there, the berserker who you knew who was just going to be a brute who was going to beat people up. And he played that gimmick up well. You want 90s wrestling again? If I'm going to get 90s wrestling, I want 2010 talent or 2020 talent. That's the thing for me. If we're going to have that kind of character, which, don't get me wrong, a little bit of variety is nice, but I need to see that level of quality though. The biggest problem with wrestling in 92 was the quality was crap. Modern talent with cartoon characters. Well, I don't want to say cartoon characters exactly. I want to see personality. Like, step out of your comfort zone. Be something that you're not. except for Darby Allin, who just, we all can agree that Darby Allin is going to die quicker than he should. And we're all just praying that we aren't witnesses to it live. Bring back Glacier. You earned a coin for that. That's a cold take. I'll give you that. Shivani's selling that knee really, really well, but... Sorry, just had a quick check on my phone. One of my favorite streamers just has a daughter, right? Newborn daughter. Well, probably around, she's a pandemic daughter, so probably around 3 years old. Starts picking up what daddy's saying. I think most people that have kids can relate to it. You got to be extra careful what you say around the kids because they pick up everything you say. You can tell that tag match went late because they're going through next week's card during the women's match here prior to the last segment because they're not going to have time to talk about it after the match here. I think it's a combination of the tag match went late and they had to run that segment over again, right? They had to run the Adam Cole segment over again. Uh-oh. Skye, get out of the corner! Remember when the youngest people called Apple? Call people Apple. And not say, yeah. I completely agree with you. All right, here we go. Storm Zero pin. Taz, shut up already. I love the fact you're going with a gimmick, but seriously. Well, Taz is definitely trying to shoot the sports entertainment thing just like I was saying. All right, go to commercial. Oh, no, we're going through the quick rundown here, so. The Leftovers of JAS versus the Best Friends and the Hardys. Okay. Johnny TV on our screens again. That's great. Lindsay Dorado coming in. All right. Going to give a new... Gonna have to give a new name to give the Storm Zero. Curtain Call, I think, is take. Yeah. What is a good replacement? A happy ending? With all due respect, I don't think we want to do a happy ending after the way she left WWE. I would almost say fairy tale ending, but that's Christopher Daniels' finisher. The Silver Screen Driver. Mark that down. Somebody get the patent office for that. So they're bringing a ton of replays up here with Toni Storm coming in. You got all right. Next Tuesday is going to be loaded. I wonder if they're going to put Saraya and Sheeta on the main event again. Hobbs and Jericho next week. All right. All right. Jay White and Pay. Okay. Folks, if you're a wrestling fan, next Tuesday, I don't care which program you watch. I prefer you watch AEW, you watch it with me, or you watch NXT and you watch me talk about AEW here, whichever way you want to go there. But there is enough wrestling on Tuesday night to last you about 3 weeks. And I guarantee every match is going to be a banger all the way across the board. Swerve better, best Danielson. I got a feeling we're going to have Swerve win with a little bit of a... I don't know if it's going to be a clean win, but I think he'll get the win. Don't want to raise him up too quickly, though. Well, the fact right now we got... But here's the thing. Here's the other part of it. Let's do some cerebral math here. Right now, the TNT champion is Christian. Do you want to see Swerve versus Christian right now? I get it. We're going to be talking about daddy issues throughout the entire thing, but at the same time, I don't know if that's going to be the most apropos thing to do, right? Like, my opinion, you do Danielson Christian with about 5 million shenanigans to face that off. No, I want Swerve being built to face MJF. So, but that's the thing. And that's where the stipulation comes in. The winner of this match gets a TNT title shot. That's why I think there might be a possibility that Danielson wins this. And we get a match that I don't think we ever expected to see. I think that match becomes an absolute banger. So everybody puts... I think right now the biggest thing is everybody's trying to make sure that... We all know Swerve's got the ability to make it into the main title picture of the roster. But I think that that match with Page is sort of like a gateway to get him into that scene. And a match with Danielson, like, look what it did for Starks. Danielson Starks, that raised Starks' stake quite a bit here. I know most of it was on Collision, but at the same time, anytime those two hooked up, it turned out to be an absolute banger of a match, and it showed, regardless win or lose, you take on Danielson, you show up, you're going to look spectacular to most people. And I think Swerve's going to be able to do that here as well. So, but just a quick heads up here. I know during the last commercial break, we usually get into what I'm doing here for streaming for the week. Tomorrow, I will be here tomorrow afternoon with a little EAFC 23. Saturday night after Fastlane, we could talk Fastlane as I'm trying to take out some people in Street Fighter 6. And Shivani's in the ring for the rest. So I will be around for my regular schedule Monday, but I will be back next Tuesday for the... Hey, good to see you here. Hey, Frosty, good to see you here too. Everybody's piling in now. Just as we're about to see the Rated R superstar. We're about to see Adam Copeland come down to the ring again for his debut segment on Dynamite, which is only going to be 7 minutes, which I hope he can get it in and out in a hurry. Yes, that was a Rated R joke for me, so I will take that. No, it's going great. Ed, just as a production note for you, I know you don't need to worry about it a whole lot, but I will be here next Tuesday for the AEW Sidecast. But immediately following, well, they might have an overrun. They usually don't try to waste it here. But immediately following the Sidecast next Tuesday, I will be sending it over to our local establishment with Ed Fries and Astra Pizarro covering the NXT show. So it's sort of a super night of wrestling, and I want to make sure everybody is able to hear about it. So, hey, I just want to make sure we get covered here for all the wrestling takes here. So, it's just amazing to see, Adam in the ring here. But TK tweeted he demanded an overrun for the code of... Okay, that makes sense. I don't know if you saw it, Ed, but they actually just had the arena audio in for the Roddy Cole segment, so... Haven't seen it. There's not much worth checking out there. And they're letting Ed show the gray. I like that. Ha! Copeland is the best trade for Punk. There we go. Let's get a horn for that one. They've been shouting at him all night. Now they get to do it for... You're going to hear that a lot in AEW here, Mr. Copeland. He's got this crowd like a puppet master here. Called out MJF for the first promo. I love it. Adam taking shots at The Rock. He just pew, 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 pew. This crowd is going to... I love this. The stray bullet. I love this. I just love it. Like, this is a fan service moment here. Did he face Adam Cole at some point? No. He probably honestly hasn't met him yet. So I wouldn't have it on the top of his mind, right? He's called him out already. No, with the fact that AEW does not have their that's bothering me. Since we don't have our scripted promos here in AEW, I don't think Adam Cole is on the top of Adam Copeland's mind here. I had to slow down for a second because I didn't want to back the names around. I didn't want to... he's not on the top of his mind because he just hasn't seen him. I guarantee you when Copeland sees Cole, yeah, I can work with him. Father of the Year, Christian Cage, a.k.a. CLB. I'm going to snooze an ad here so we can stay here right to the finish. I will say this. Excalibur is bang on here right now. As much as I talk about Christian being the CLB and whatnot, he has absolutely redefined himself here in AEW. Like, that serial killer that you just know does something bad, that's what Christian Cage is right now. Like, look at this. This is freaking amazing here. Was this on anybody's bingo card for 2023? Christian and Adam in the same ring? And Christian's going to go dead cold. Swear jar. Aww. Ha! My God, I love. And I just need Christian to say one word for the whole thing. And. Copeland feels more like himself on this promo than he has at any time in his WWE career. Abso-freaking-lutely. So he wants to do exactly what. Wow. There it is. He's got a point. And Christian's like, you're not after my title? He's turning it down, and Luchasaurus is coming out to destroy Edge tonight. Like, it has to happen. He just grabs the mic. No. Drops it, walks away. Watch this. Now. Wow. Swear jar. Wow. The expression on Christian's face has been pitch perfect. I think Adam is pretty damn on pace too there. And the fact he's feeding on the haterade right now. I know that look. You're 16 again? Yeah, like, I got a feeling it's going to happen eventually. Now, for Title Tuesday, they got to put that as the main event, right? Like, if you're not going to put Cheetah and Saraya as the main event, you'll put this at. Because that's what everybody's trying to watch. So they're starting 3 hours early on Saturday because of baseball. The schedule's going to be all over the place now for AEW programming for the next probably the rest of the month, essentially. Think we're only getting sucked out 1 week so far. Like, next week it's going to be Tuesday as we fade to black here. There it goes. All right, just mute that here. It's great to see this happen again, where you get the Edge, like the whole thing of Adam Copeland. I'm still going to be calling him Edge till who knows how long here, but Adam Copeland, seriously, he has produced more in that segment than I've seen in a very long time. The fact you could see the legitimacy in his face, you could see the honesty in his face, the passion, like I was saying, the beard was a little gray there. Doesn't fit with the current storyline, but when Adam Copeland said FTR and the Young Bucks, then the Hardy's music hits, the roof explodes. Yeah, like, we're gonna, like, let's put it this way: if the end game of this is going to be Christian and Edge tagging together, which means somewhere in here, we are going to get Edge and Christian versus the Hardys. He's made his intentions clear. He wants to get back with Christian. And he's going to fight for it. Yeah, and exactly, Zodiac. You could bang it right on the head. TK's a fan. We're guaranteed to get it. Like, to me, there's absolutely no doubt that that's what's going to happen here. So, I think that, you know what? This segment's set up very nicely for the end of Dynamite here. Overall, for a post-pay-per-view Dynamite, not bad. Not a bad show. We got a couple of great matches. I still feel that Tony and Skye Blue was maybe rushed a little bit. That's mainly Jericho's fault plus the audio's fault on that one segment there. But I'll give the majority of that to Jericho because that runoff was canceled out by the run. Should have kicked Edge in the nuts. I don't know if we want to see that view to end the show. Do you want to see the view of Copeland in pain? I want to see the first real contact in a ring on Dynamite to be in a match. Makes you feel special to want to see it. Like on Sunday, you had to pay to see that. Well, outside the illegal means, but I digress at that point. You want to anticipate that first contact, that first motion, that first real story beat to come up as Edge being in a match. You have to build to Edge versus Christian. I think it's going to go back to what the old BCC rules were. The old BCC rules is you got to share blood with me before you team with me. I think there is going to be a head-to-head here between Adam Copeland and Christian. I am going to try and get a habit of trying to call him proper name. And I loved how he sucked them all in with those dream matches. Absolutely. Like, we all know that's what the end goal is, right? That's what Adam's end goal is, according to what he said there. And I have no doubt in my mind that they are going to tag up here before they're done. And personally, I hope it turns out that these guys get to go on an actual run. We'll get there eventually. Let's put it this way. The only thing that's holding us up, the only thing we got to worry about now is time. And Edge is in phenomenal shape. Christian is in phenomenal shape as well. We got, pretty much everybody they want to face is like they're chomping at the bit. And you know that tag team division could use an infusion here, right? Especially after Aussie Open lost Mark Davis at the pay-per-view as well. So there isn't real, like, as much as FTR is great, could you imagine, you need to infuse it with a lethal dose of awesomeness. Yes, I got some comedic chops once in a while, so what can I say? All I could say is this show makes me want to watch the show next Tuesday. And I know that NXT has loaded up their show as well. There is a DVR. Crazy how AEW at one point was a premier tag team promotion, and now here's the thing, and I hate to bring it up, but it seems to be a fact these days. The origins of wrestling were all based out of tag teams. Like, how would two people coexist going into a certain match? Here, we're at a point now where tag team wrestling doesn't matter as much anymore compared to what it used to. Not even close. Not even close. It's all about singles and who's the big star. Look at the main event of WrestleMania 1. It was a tag match involving your top wrestler. Like, Vince started moving things into a singles atmosphere, but before that, more often than not, it was always about who was the top tag team, who were the people that could get together and work together. And it'd be nice to see that again here in AEW. But yeah, tonight, Great show lined up. A pretty decent lineup going into the show next Tuesday. I hope Phoenix is okay by the time we get back to that. We're also looking at, I really hope that Shida gets the title back from Saraya, because Saraya's not doing much with it. Not that that's her fault with booking and such, but I hope it goes back to Shida. Just a little bit of a course correction kind of thing. But we all know that everybody's going to be crazy to see that Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus match. And yeah, NXT loaded up their card too. We got Asuka and Roxanne Perez. We got Braun Baker versus Carmelo Hayes with John Cena and Paul Heyman in corners, respectively. When you have Becky Lynch as a champion, that's going to happen. Like, Cody Rhodes is probably going to be there to announce the Dusty Classic again. I can't see Cody being there for any other reason, really, unless NXT is moving permanently to Wednesday, which I would highly doubt. But yeah, other than that, Tuesday's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And what we're going to be doing here, once again, we will be having our AEW Sidecast next Tuesday, and then immediately following our Sidecast, I'm going to raid out to our local establishment who will be covering the NXT Championship Tuesday, I guess, their edition of Crazy Tuesday with Astrid and Ed, as they're going to be talking about that show. So